Racheta, we are live.
A very good evening, everyone. I'm Rachayata Siddharth, and on behalf of Logistics Insider, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the virtual curtain raiser of CCUB 2023, that is Cold Chain Unbroken 2023. Today, we gather to witness the first look at what the event is anticipated to bring to you and how our distinguished panel moderators will turn that into reality. An unbroken cold chain refers to a continuous series of refrigerated processes, including production, storage, and distribution, accompanied by the necessary equipment and logistical support with a purpose to preserve the desired low temperature range, ensuring the safety and quality of perishable or temperature sensitive products. The task of sustaining this seamless cold chain is considerably more intricate than it might sound. And as the global cold chain market size, which in 2022 was estimated at USD 233.2 billion, is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 18.6% from 2023 to 2030. There is a need to discuss and deliberate on the segment's growth opportunities, the existing bottlenecks, and innovations and technology. Amid this growth, the concept of an unbroken cold chain becomes paramount. Maintaining optimal temperature conditions throughout the journey, from production to consumption, is vital to preserve the product quality, nutritional value, and safety. An unbroken cold chain ensures that consumers receive goods that meet stringent quality standards, thereby fostering trust and satisfaction. And understanding this need, Wiz, after a massive success last year, is once again bringing to you the Cold Chain Unbroken in 2023, a premier event for the cold chain sector in India, and Team Logistics Insider is proud to be its official media partner. To be hosted at the Taj Bengaluru on 14th and 15th of September, the two-day event will present a wide range of panel discussions and provide an excellent knowledge sharing and networking opportunity for the stakeholders. The many names coming on board will be writing the success of this much anticipated extravaganza. You will see participation of supply chain heads of pharmaceutical, food, FMCG, government bureaucrats, policymakers, the heads of various international and domestic airlines, airports, and seaports, cold chain operators, technology companies, trucking companies, packaging companies, ICDs, CFS, you name it, and they will be joining the show, aiming to facilitate brainstorming, problem solving, and highly intellectual discussions between various stakeholders of the cold supply chain. This event will delve deeper into the strategies, technologies, and collaborations that sustain the unbroken cold chain. We are excited as the prospects of learning from the industry experts who will share insights and experiences, contributing to the collective knowledge that drives this vital industry forward. As we embark on the journey of CCUB 2023, here is a quick sneak peek into the show. Can we have the theme video, please?
The Unbroken. Welcome to CCUB 23, where excellent innovation and the lifeline of temperature-sensitive goods is celebrated. Modern commerce transcends boundaries, connecting lives through the unbroken cold chain. From inception to consumption, that quality remains intact, even across vast distances. But the road is not without obstacles. Temperature shifts threaten the integrity of products, and disruptions can lead to dire consequences. Delicate and intricate, requires steadfast dedication to ensure its continuity. In the heart of preservation lies a dedication that surpasses boundaries. The cold chain safeguards not just goods, but also trust, health, and economic prosperity.
Pharmaceutical, life sciences, and food perishables. I think these are two very integral sectors, not just for the country's growth, export growth, economic growth, but I think it directly touches the lives of people.
How from farm till the consumer's table we are able to maintain that, what kind of packaging solutions, what kind of monitoring solutions are available, and as I said, we are quite serious about improving our export potential in different domains, and this is one important priority one for us.
From its very inception, CCUB has consistently served as the cradle of innovation within this domain, propelling forth ingenious solutions that have revolutionized the management of cold chains with remarkable efficiency. These trailblazing solutions have transcended borders, finding widespread adoption across the global stage. A testament that resounds with the resounding success CCUB has achieved in practical implementation. As the sun sets on today, innovation illuminates tomorrow. IoT, real-time monitoring, and predictive analytics redefine the cold chain, ensuring its continuous evolution. In unity, we stand. The cold chain unites industries, economies, and aspirations. Let us march forward as custodians of this lifeline, preserving quality, trust, and life itself.
Well, wow, what we just saw was the theme video of one of India's biggest and most diverse supply chain events. And this event would not have been possible without our partners and our sponsors. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners and sponsors for the show. Our platinum sponsor, DFW, our silver sponsor, Worldwide Freight Services, uh, Worldwide Flight Services, ladies and gentlemen, our airport partner, Bangalore Airport, BIAL, our logistics partner, Turkish Cargo, our morning tea partner, GMR, networking lunch partner, Air India, evening tea partner, Port of Antwerp, our coaster partner, Celebi, and the delegate bags partner, Batco. Thank you so much, everyone, for extending your support to this industry initiative, the Cold Chain Unbroken 2023. Now, to give you all a glimpse of what to expect from CCUB 2023, allow me to call upon the man behind the event, Mr. Satish Lakaraju, the Global Head, Air Freight and Pharma at Wiz. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much, Racheta. My pleasure to be on the curtain raiser today. And please go ahead.
No, no, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I think after the remarkable success that we got for CCUB 2022, which attracted close to 350 participants, 56 odd speakers from 20 odd countries, we had participation. CCUB 2023, you can expect many more changes that we have now put in place because CCUB 2022 was when we were just out of the pandemic. And now, post the pandemic, the requirements of the cold chain have also increased both on the farmer side as well as on the food vertical clearly. So, and we've also thought it's important to make sure that we bring in other industry leaders this year into the CCUB 2023, giving insights on what are the other solutions that we can offer. So, people attending CCUB 2023 can expect many surprises for the good. It will be action packed from start to finish. Every panel discussion will have very good speakers from all stakeholders. And in today's curtain raiser, we will get to hear more about all the 8 panel discussions from our senior moderators. And the moderators this time are also very, very senior people, industry veteran experts with over 40 to 50 years of experience. So I think in overall, I'm very excited that CCUB 2023 is happening in Bangalore and at the right time, clearly.
Right, right. Thank you so much for briefing us about the event. And it's all very invigorating. And I hope that you know that I am, for one, very excited to attend the event in person and experience the magnanimity of it all. So, without hogging the limelight anymore, I would like to take the back seat and hand over the reins of the show to you. Over to you, Satish, sir. Please take over.
Thank you so much. Let me continue. And may I request the organizers, Logistics Insider, to please invite Mr. Ram Kumar Govindrajan, uh, who is the CEO and founder of Wizfreight. Uh, Ram, thank you so much for accepting to be on today's show. Always a pleasure to listen to you and your great insights in terms of what changes we have to put in CCUB. I think you will be the better person to explain more on what can we expect in your track learnings from other supply chains. Over to you, Ram.
Well, firstly, thank you, Satish ji. It's my pleasure to be on this panel moderator curtain raiser event for CCUB. I think CCUB 2022, as you mentioned, and something that I witnessed firsthand was astounding success. Thanks to you and thanks to everybody from the team that worked very hard. And I was able to visibly see the impact that it had on the ecosystem and all the stakeholders. And I'm a big believer that it is going to be a continual success, including this one, the 2023 edition of it. So super excited and thrilled to be part of it. Coming to the panel discussion that I wanted to sort of talk about today. So this is going to be called Supply Chain. So we are going to bring supply chain heroes from different industries outside of cold chain this time. And this is an initiative where we all the great let us say logistics innovations that's happening in cold chain to industries outside, so they can have learnings and takeaways from that. And similarly, we wanted to also present the innovations that are happening outside of cold chain in different verticals, whether it is automotive, whether it is manufacturing, chemicals, and see if we can have a knowledge sharing session between the industry thought leaders in such verticals and make them interact with the cold chain supply chain experts to foster a better understanding of what's happening outside. So this can be an external perspective of what we do, which will also foster more innovation and collaboration and takeaways that can be abstracted from their supply chain. So that's what's going to happen in that panel. So the idea is to bring thought leaders representing one vertical each, right? So we are bringing a panel wherein there'll be 4 to 5 leaders, each representing one key sector, very accomplished leaders. And we also want to acknowledge and felicitate them for their contribution to their respective supply chains and share with us what's happening in their part of the world in terms of innovations, in terms of supply chain developments, and take questions in an interactive manner from the pharma supply chain leaders, and also for them to network and participate in the other brainstorming sessions of the pharma and the cold chain supply chain panels, right? So that's really the concept of my panel, and I'm very, very excited to launch it and introduce that in this year's CCUB.
Thank you so much, Ram. I think the last question that I have is that are there going to be any surprises or are there going to be any other initiatives that you think you will have in your panel for us as a thing in terms of facts and figures coming out of it? Should we expect something of that kind?
Absolutely, I think I'm very excited to make this session very interactive and very facts and data driven, which is something that I personally like, and that's as you know is my style as well. So we definitely want to bring a lot more of that. And the idea, as I said again, is to foster learning and collaboration. I think every other panel discussion, while it is going to be around pharma or life sciences or cold chain and perishables, I think this one session will be that exception wherein we are going to hear great stories from other industries as a learning opportunity and as a knowledge sharing opportunity, and also interact with those leaders and share what we are trying to attempt in cold chain, because there is a lot of synergies and similarities in both cold chain and, let us say, general supply chains. There's a lot of fundamental building blocks of logistics that doesn't change perhaps. So this is an initiative to kind of understand how other industries look at some of their problems, whether it is planning, whether it is execution, collaboration, digitizing their supply chains, IoT, as you mentioned. So all these are great, I would say, fundamental building blocks of any supply chain, be it cold chain or otherwise. So this is really an event that will bring out that part of knowledge sharing from what's happening outside of the cold chain, and foster that collaboration or that learning. So in that context, yes, we would make the session very action packed and be very data driven, and we expect to have lots of facts and figures to be shared, and this will come directly from the people that are running the supply chain successfully in their respective industry. So that's what is more exciting and make the session more lively in my opinion, right? So looking forward to that.
Thank you so much, Ram, for taking the time out today. And your session, incidentally, will happen on day one at 3:45. So let the audience know that it's on the day one that we're going to have your session. So surely looking forward to you. And I will now coordinate with other moderators to get more insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. So let's now move on to Bala Subramaniam, who's not only a close friend of mine, but Bala comes with long industry standing as well. Bala, welcome to the show, and I know you're very passionate about cold chain and our interaction always on cold chain. In one of the sessions that we both met at Delhi at GMR, I can never forget, and I think that's laid the foundation further for CCUB to grow for its sixth year. So maybe you would want to brief the audience about what can we expect out of cold chain infrastructure at airports and then on ground in your track that is going to happen on the day one.
Thank you so much, Satish, and you very nice opening to the whole thing. And I cannot forget the day when we discussed that and how it led to the birth of cold chain. The topic that has been given to me to moderate and lead a really embellished panel is very exciting because it's very broad. So you may tend to get defocused and run away and not know where to stop. But we have got a very nice panel with whom I've been interacting, and where we try to bring the key question that anyone would ask: what will my audience get out of this panel? So to answer that, as they say, experiential learning is your best teacher. So the panel I have, whether you talk about an airline, I've got two expert airline people. You talk about a handler, not alone do I have expert handler, it has been nicely divided into one with a huge global footprint, with a very good reputation, another with a huge Indian footprint, with an equally excellent reputation, and bringing in their perspectives and learnings to see how this battle can be fought. As you know, Satish, and I know, and all of us know in this thing, the battle of air freight is never in the air. It is on the ground. I load the cargo, I close the door. It is democratization till the aircraft lands there and you open the door. Every challenge arises till I close the door and after I open the door at the destination there. So if you talk about now airport and on ground, so we are able to bring in both. You talk about infrastructure, whether it is digitalization or physical or both. I've got Dallas Fort Worth coming and joining my panel, where their whole focus is on how do you dovetail and ensure, but both of them are synergized. That becomes the whole one. And he is going to bring some experiential points into the panel to elucidate his point as well as to make it as a learning point for the entire audience. And if you try to bring into the other handler, WFS, they will give an international footprint how sometimes they give an excellent service in one station and the same customer is very unhappy with them in another station. Why? Because you are unable to replicate it. It is the same cold chain product, but you're going to face a huge music and you're going to be very innovative in how do you get the situation right. And because you need to deliver at the end of the day, a vaccine is a vaccine, a pharma is a pharma to the end user at the end of the day. And the pharmaceutical company is not going to be kind with you if you're going to say the service standards are affecting my delivery. So that is going to be brought in. And to bring us to the ground, immediately I'm going to get from GMR Prasad, who is going to say, look, Bala, we are going to look at in a large perspective of what our ambitions are. You have an NLP on one side, which the Honorable Prime Minister has unveiled it, and you've got the Logistics Performance Index, where we have got an ambition to go high, and we have got an infrastructure. Let us get things on the ground moving now. There is no point in announcing there is a 24/7 facility. Let the industry use the 24/7 facility. Let active passive containers be allowed to move. Let BUP concept be allowed to be implemented. Let transshipment even. So it is like marrying not just sort of good intentions and ambitions, but with ground realities and experiential learning. How do we take this forward? And another thing, our panel is very keen. At the end of the day, what are the key actionable points we can bring to the table, which becomes measurable? And in CCUB 24, we pick that up and continue. It is not a broken chain, it is an unbroken chain of what we deliver for our customers. That's what is our plan, Satish.
Brilliant. I think I'm definitely looking forward to this session. And over the years, CCUB has always taken up industry issues, including X-ray machines being available for your active and passive containers. I think the first initiative that CCUB took up many years ago. As a result, today the country has enough X-ray machines to scan the active and passive. I'm sure after your session, we will be able to look at other industry issues which we can address and then update the people on what we have done post CCUB 2023. And looking forward to your session. Thank you so much, Bala.
I'm equally excited to listen to all other panels as well. And then we all put our heads together and bring in collective solutions and improvement to the industry. Thank you once again for the opportunity given, Satish.
Brilliant. Thank you, Bala. May I request if we can have Mr. Jairam Radhakrishna on the stage, please. Thank you, Jay, for joining in. I know it's a Friday evening, but I thought it's important for our audience to know more about CCUB. You had seen the CCUB last year as well. So what can we expect from your panel, which is on a very important subject, Jay?
Thanks, Satish. Firstly, of course, good evening to all my fellow moderators. And it's good to be here on this virtual curtain raiser of CCUB 23. I've been asked to moderate a panel talking on the subject of whether ocean is a preferred choice of transportation over air cargo. And given it gives better visibility, lesser handling, door-to-door capability, and I have to tread very carefully, given the fact that I'm going to be sitting in the backyard of an airport and talking, moderating this panel. So I will have on the panel carriers. I will have members from the shippers exporting community, and possibly somebody from the ecosystem of ports to discuss the subject. While 80% of freight moves over the ocean, and that's a given, I think sometimes you expect that there isn't much to discuss when it comes to this panel. But the fact is, I think COVID and what happened during COVID has taught us a few lessons. We've seen, shipping lines having delayed berthing in ports, leading to cargo stuck for 15 days outside ports. We've seen congestion in ports. And when it comes to cold chain product, time is of essence, and every delay causes an issue. So I think it would be an interesting topic when we talk to the carriers on these subjects as well.
No, great. I think we're really looking forward, because over the years, Ocean has definitely been a major trustworthy partner as far as cold chain is concerned, because we've seen that from a lot of air cargo movements have moved to Ocean because of multiple reasons. So I'm definitely looking forward for session. And thank you for taking out the time today to tell our audience about what can be expected. And that's from our side as far as your track, which will happen on the day two, uh, incidentally, because we have all the uh, tracks lined up with great speakers, and so we're looking forward for your track as well. So
Thanks, Satish.
thanks. So if you can have now Mr. Keku Bhumi Gazdar, who's thanks, Keku. I hope you are in a position to give us some wonderful insight on a subject which I guess we've been talking for years together now on our perishable track and what India can do on it. So, what can our audience really look forward in the track is what we want to know from you.
Hey, thanks, Satish, and compliments to you and Ram for once again organizing the CCUB. I think what's really interesting for me is that although this has been more conceived keeping pharma in mind, you guys have taken the opportunity and the lead to make perishables as part of this event. Um, the panel that we have and on which I'm going to moderate is a panel that is really well brought together. So there are people from APEDA, from the food organizations, we have from an airline, and we have from a ground handler as well being present during this track, which is on three very important points. One is, of course, the cold chain on the perishables. Why is it important? What does it bring to the table? Second is tapping the Indian market for exports. We've been a country that has been exporting uh, perishables all over the world now. Earlier, it was mainly concentrated on the Southeast Asian and the Middle East countries. Today, the world over is looking for to our perishables. So, how are we going to tap into that market? And the third point that we're going to focus on is going to be on the intra-city and intercity food delivery, which is something that is going to excite not just me, but I'm sure it is also going to excite a lot of people to understand how is the logistics working when we're going to do this particular movement. So, what are we going to talk about? Trends, challenges, get some thought provoking data, debates, and opportunities to gain a deeper understanding of the subject so that those who are participating in the event go back a little enriched on these particular topics and how it is going to help their business uh, in the real world application of the ideas that the panelists bring. So, excited to host this event, excited to be a moderator for this, and I'm sure that together with the panelists on my track, we'll be able to add true value to the event. That's from my side, Satish. Over to you.
Thank you, Keku. And I think India, being the world largest producer of milk, second largest producer of fruits and vegetables, and a significant producer of seafood and poultry products, I think it's very critical for all of us to really look at the cold chain aspect. And I think Keku session will be also on day two, which will be very interesting. May I have now Mr. Pavan Mulkutla? Thanks, Pavan. And the only reason that we decided probably to call you up last is that the other panelists have been attending CCUB, and so they have had a fair bit of the understanding of how we've been running. But I think this year having you is our pleasure, and your session on the evolving trends in terms of trucking and savings and sustainable options. So, what is that the audience should be looking for your panel discussion that happens on the day two, which is 15th of September?
Thank you, Satish, and congratulations on the to CCUB and you on this. I think very interesting discourse, right? What's happening right now in the whole decarbonization of transport sectors. As you know, the transport sector itself contributes to almost close to 13% of the emissions in India. And the national government and the subnational governments have been doing multiple policies and schemes, including the electric mobility policy, the FAME2, the National Green Hydrogen Mission. And trucking has been a core of this. And the session would really focus on how do we look at the latest trends in trucking and also talk about what are the benefits of energy savings and sustainability. And it really becomes extremely even more important on how we look at this from the end user perspective, right? It's not just there is just availability of technology and a policy in place, but will the unit economics work? Is it a viable business model that will become? And how should even the technology evolve to meet the various needs? I mean, we're talking about all these cold storage requirements, which will completely have different payload issues, and therefore the existing technologies suitability will need to be evaluated. And how do policies then come in, and how do we then identify the use cases to address this? So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting and exciting session, because we are talking specifically of a sector that has not been touched, and it is extremely new. And very much looking forward to this discourse. And we have lined up a series of excellent speakers to really come from different backgrounds to share their perspectives. And hopefully, this will also set path to share these findings and these deliberations with folks at both ministry and at the national government to really to help them to think how this should be actually addressed. So, Satish, thank you once again for inviting, and really looking forward to this conversations.
Thank you so much, and our pleasure to also have you, Pawan, because we really want to make CCUB a great platform for raising industry issues, and also the voice of the industry is here. Unfortunately, which is why the advisory board has very, very strong members from diverse fields, and we've been growing from strength to strength every year. So looking forward, and then we will keep the audience updated on every bit in the next 20 days. I think we're not too far away from the event. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Satish. Yeah.
So you've heard from our moderators, but I think apart from the sessions that we spoke about, there are another two tracks, of which one I will be moderating. And the track that I will be moderating has to do on a subject which is so critical and which has actually helped each one of us get our vaccinations right on time during the COVID. I know that we all have gone through difficult times at the COVID, but having the right packaging and optimizing and using active and passive boxes is an important subject. And over the last 5 years, we have seen great amount of technology evolvement coming in terms of what active and passive containers can offer. And each and every brand that is available in the globe uh, is currently looking at India in a more serious sense. And CCB has always fostered and ensured that the right technologies are introduced to the members of the industry. And organizations like VacuTech have also been launched through initiatives like CCUB. So I think what people can expect in that particular session is that we've got both active and passive container manufacturers, as well as people from the airline industry and the pharma industry present in the panel, where we will talk about how the duration of the active and passive and can be really become an important aspect of transportation, and how unbroken cold chain can be kept. So I think that's one track which has always been of great importance in CCUB. And the last track, which will happen clearly on day one, where while we realize that a lot has happened on the ground, and the government also is taking initiatives, but we've realized that there is still a need for a process simplification in the day-to-day functioning, because the takt time and the dwell times on the ground are still not reduced in spite of technology being deployed. And so we decided that the dwell time reduction is a critical aspect, and how we can do that and what are the next steps that government should be taking. So in this track we will have representation from customs, we will have representation from the Federation of Indian Exporters, we will have representation from perishable exporters, as well as other stakeholders from airport and uh, other allied agencies which are involved in it. And we will also talk about how technology can play a critical role in the whole simplification process. And I'm also very keen to see as to what deliberations will happen in that session, and the outcome of which can then be communicated to the associations. And last, that I would also want to you know say that this year we have participation from many associations. We have the Federation of Telangana Chamber and Commerce, which has partnered with us last year. We have WRI, which we already mentioned some time ago. We have AMTOY as well, which is partnering this year. And we have Triple FI also, which is partnering. And we also have many members on this who are part of ACFI's board. So which means in all we have all industry stakeholders. And I'm surely looking forward for CCUB 2023 happening. And now I hand over it back to Logistics Insiders team to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Satish, and to all our expert moderators for setting the context for CCUB 2023 so beautifully and introducing us to all the tracks that will adorn the main event on the 14th and 15th of September in Bengaluru. I would also like to take a moment to thank our partners and sponsors once again for entrusting Team CCUB. A big thank you to our platinum sponsor, Dallas Fort Worth Airport, silver sponsor, Worldwide Flight Services, airport partner, Bengaluru Airport Bile, logistics partner, Turkish Cargo, morning tea partner, GMR Group, networking lunch partner, Air India, evening tea partner, Port of Antwerp, coaster partner Celebi, and delegate bags partner Bagco. With that, I will now conclude this very insightful and invigorating virtual session. Thank you once again to all of you for joining us. And for any more information, please visit ccub.co.in. We hope to see you all in Bengaluru. Have a nice rest of the evening and a very happy weekend. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
In the heart of this convergence lies an essential thread that binds industries together, the unbroken cold chain. Welcome to CCUB 2023, where excellence meets innovation and the lifeline of temperature-sensitive goods is celebrated. Modern commerce transcends boundaries, connecting lives through the unbroken cold chain. From inception to consumption, this journey ensures that quality remains intact, even across vast distances. But the road is not without obstacles. Temperature shifts threaten the integrity of products, and disruptions can lead to dire consequences. The cold chain, delicate and intricate, requires steadfast dedication to ensure its continuity. In the heart of preservation lies a dedication that surpasses boundaries. The cold chain safeguards not just goods, but also trust, health, and economic prosperity.
Pharmaceutical, life sciences, and food and perishables. I think these are two very integral sectors, not just for the country's growth, export growth, economic growth, but I think it directly touches the lives of people
how from farm till the consumer's table, we are able to maintain that, what kind of packaging solutions, what kind of monitoring solutions are available. And as I said, we are quite serious about improving our export potential in different domains. And this is one important priority one for us.
From its very inception, CCUB has consistently served as the cradle of innovation within this domain, propelling forth ingenious solutions that have revolutionized the management of cold chains with remarkable efficiency. These trailblazing solutions have transcended borders, finding widespread adoption across the global stage. A testament that resounds with the resounding success CCUB has achieved in practical implementation. As the sun sets on today, innovation illuminates tomorrow. IoT, real-time monitoring, and predictive analytics redefine the cold chain, ensuring its continuous evolution. In unity, we stand. The cold chain unites industries, economies, and aspirations. Let us march forward as custodians of this lifeline, preserving quality, trust, and life itself.